everybody. Welcome to Living Raw by Grace presents Caesar dressing. So we had, for the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about raw sunflower seeds and how amazing they are for you. They help everything from cholesterol to diabetes. They help with your skin. They help with so many things. You need more raw sunflower seeds into your diet on a regular basis. Now, you can just take a handful of sunflower seeds and just pop them in your mouth. But when they're raw and they're unsalted, they're not as fun as the toasted, salted variety. So, in order to get more raw sunflower seeds into your diet, you can turn them into fun recipes. So this week, I gave you a recipe for the Caesar dressing that I'm about to make. I gave you a recipe for stuffed tomatoes and for apricot apple balls, little snack balls, and for a delicious smoothie. Now, when I had everybody vote yesterday for which recipe they wanted, it was a tie across the board. The same amount of people voted for each recipe. Well, nobody voted for the smoothie. Let's not joke here. But everybody wanted every recipe. And I was this close to demonstrating the stuffed tomato recipe, except that I didn't have a couple of the ingredients, and I didn't feel like going out and getting them. So we're going to make this instead. That being said, for those of you who wanted me to demonstrate the stuffed tomato recipe and were curious how to scoop out the tomatoes without puncturing the tomatoes, it's a fine art, but I have one secret. Okay, my secret for scooping out the middle of tomatoes without hurting the tomato, whether it's a Roma tomato, which are easier, and then cherry tomatoes, which are a lot harder. Start with Roma tomatoes. Work your way down to cherry tomatoes once you get pretty good at it. The secret, here you go. Drum roll, please. Grapefruit spoons. You see this grapefruit spoon? Grapefruit spoons are spoons that have serrated edges. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see the serrated edges? So this is like a little spoon and knife, or a knife and, it's a spoon and a knife at the same time. And as you scoop, you can kind of chop at the same time. This is brilliant. This is my genius of how to scoop out tomatoes in order to stuff them with delicious stuffing. And you can get these almost anywhere. I, of course, went to Amazon because that's my best friend at the moment. And so, stuffed tomatoes. So, we're not making stuffed tomatoes today. We're making Caesar dressing. I make this dressing all the time. This is one of my favorite salad dressings. Whenever I get a salad dressing, I want a creamy salad dressing. I want something that kind of mimics ranch or Caesar or some of those creamy dressings. I can get a balsamic anywhere. I can't get a creamy dressing in a restaurant, so I always like making them at home. So my Caesar dressing is really simple. It is very few ingredients. See the ingredients right here? These are all the ingredients. Super simple. I almost always have all of these on hand, so I never have to worry about having to go out and get an ingredient, which is kind of nice. And I make this probably once a week, maybe once every other week. I definitely make this for my salad in a jar parties because this salad dressing lasts at least a week in the fridge without any issue. And it's fun to provide a healthier alternative to the ranches and the buttermilk ranches that are out there when we have salad in a jar parties. So I'm doing this personally for selfish reasons. I had all these ingredients. I love this dressing, and I'm going to use it on Monday. So I'm making it, today's Friday, and it'll be perfect for Monday. So never fear. It'll last a while in my fridge. So let's get started. We're going to start with, first off, you're going to need your blender. Vitamix, if you got it. If you got it, woo, woo, do one of those little hearts. How many people have Vitamixes that are watching right now? A whole bunch of hearts. Heart. Yes, Vitamix. If you don't have Vitamix, use whatever you got. If you spent less than $100 for your blender, soak your sunflower seeds overnight. Soften them up so it's easier for your blender to work. Do more work so your blender doesn't have to do as much work and you get a better consistency. If you have a Vitamix, that's why we spent so much money on these things, so we don't have to do anything. Woo! So a cup of sunflower seeds. We're gonna do the juice of a lemon. The juice. Do you guys remember this tool? Isn't this fantastic? Make sure you put your lemon in with the juice facing down so the juice comes out these holes, but none of the seeds do. One of my favorite gadgets ever. Also, a really good arm workout. Good grip strength. All right, so it's half a lemon, the other half of the lemon. We're gonna do some raw honey. I think it's 2 tablespoons. Two cloves of garlic. Now, if you notice, with my Vitamix, it runs so powerfully, I don't have to peel my garlic. There's good stuff in the peels. Guess who's not getting stinky fingers? This girl. And we got some salt and pepper. Real simple. The more spices you can buy in grinder format, the less preservatives going into your body. Do the work yourself. And again, good arm workout. You ever wonder where I get these guns? In the kitchen. Pepper. And water. So if the recipe calls for a cup of water, put in a half. Whenever you're making any of my recipes, always put in half of the water that's called for, because you may not need all of it. Because your lemon might be really juicy, or your sunflower seeds might be a little dry. There are so many different variables that change. Water's the one constant you have full control over. So it's easier to put in than it is to try and take out. So I always say start with half of what the recipe calls for, and if your dip is not moving in your blender, if it's kind of stuck, add more water, but slowly until you get the consistency you're looking for. And blend. And when you're done, I have 3 cups of sauce, 3 cups of dressing. I used a cup of sunflower seeds. A cup of sunflower seeds is about 75 cents. That was the main ingredient. Garlic cloves, a little bit of honey, some salt, pepper, some lemon, probably $1.25. I probably spent $1.25 on 3 cups of dressing that will keep in my fridge for at least a week. Healthy, life-giving, inside transforming dressing. This dressing goes great on salads. It's a beautiful dip for veggies. It's a great condiment if you're trying to get your kids off of ranch or mayonnaise or any of those. I'm telling you, sauces and dips are where it's at. This is how you get people to eat vegetables. So, dressing. Now I'm gonna put it in a squeezy bottle. I'm still using this one up. This is my cheese sauce. But when I'm finished with this, I'm gonna put it in here so that I can just squirt it on my salad or in whatever I want to. It's a great way to do it. And I want it to be pourable, thin enough that I can pour it easily. Can you see? If it's too thick, it will only thicken in the fridge. So you want to make sure it's a little on the runny dressing side so that you can pour it easily on salads. That being said, I've made it super thick as a dip and still use it as a salad dressing. It's totally up to you. And that's it. That's all you watched me. It took me less than 5 minutes. The longest amount of time that we had was waiting for it to blend while I danced. That was it. And so, easy, simple, fast, cheap, delicious. I hope you go make it. I hope you give it a try. And I hope you tell me what you think of it when you're done. Sunflower seeds. Who knew they could be so delicious? Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Monday with a new ingredient. Stay tuned.